All right, so this gin martini is pretty straightforward. You've got a little, in this case, Tanqueray, and then we've got a little Dalwhinnie. It's added just to give it a little bit of smokiness, to give it a little bit of depth, and then the lemon twist is just supposed to add a little bit of sweetness to it. So I figured we'd want something very classic, but then just a hint of something else. So there you have it.
I gotta know, what do you call it?
Let's call it the Dreamy Martini.
Dreamy Martini. Man, this is good. I can taste, man, I love the fact that it's straight to the point. I can taste the gin, I can taste smoke. You didn't add any lemon juice to this at all, did you?
No, it's just a twist.
Just a twist. I can taste the lemon.
Yeah.
So, I mean, dude, this is crazy. It looks like water.
Yeah. It's, like I said, there's the proportions is mostly gin and then just a little bit of the scotch to give it that smoke and give it more body, right?
Yeah.
But it won't overpower it. It's there just a little bit, and then it even still doesn't overpower the lemon, which is what we want. So we want those three things to stand out individually, but speak together or sing together in this case.
Yeah. Man, I'm not gonna lie. This is very good. So I've been asking people their story, and I'm pretty sure you have a very unique story about getting into bartending.
Yeah. So I actually started behind the sushi bar.
Okay.
I was a sushi chef for 4 years. So I guess I got used to talking to guests, in the same fashion that we're talking in right now. But I guess these days the ingredients or the things that I work with are just different.
Yeah.
Instead of using food, I'm manipulating spirits, and I fell into it because I had a friend that was working at a restaurant that needed a bartender, and I wasn't working very much at the sushi restaurant anymore, and so I went for it. He lied to the GM saying that I had bartending experience, and of course I didn't. But once he found out that I didn't, he allowed me to stick around, and I basically learned on the fly.
Yeah.
I mean, one thing that I was always good at, or am good at, is talking. Conversing with guests, the banter. So once I figured out flavor profiles and things that matched, that didn't match, I kind of just knew what I was doing. I did that at 8 months at Casa Rubia. Made my way over here to Uchibā, and worked downstairs. No spirits, obviously, so that was different.
Yeah.
Just sake, beer, and wine. But I feel like that gave me an opportunity to kind of refine my taste buds a little bit more because I had to get creative with flavors. So, and I've been bartending up here because I've left the company twice. I've come back twice. I've been bartending up here for the last 2 years now, and getting to talk to great people like yourself. So I'm just lucky because I have a massive palette that I get to work with, and I get to try stuff with people that are willing to try things, and I get to mess around. It's pretty cool. So stuff like this, it doesn't come naturally. It just kind of comes with, well, I knew I wanted to show you something different.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to take away from the gin, and I wanted it still to be straightforward, just like a gin martini. So
I'm not gonna lie, this is, when I saw it, I was like, yo, that's very different. It's like that's cool. Like straight clear. There's no color, which is perfect for me because I shoot in black and white. Mm-hmm. So that resonated with me even more. I'm like, okay, cool. This is interesting. Right. This is and I love the way that you guys pair the food with the drinks as well. I don't know if you guys do that intentionally, but
I mean, it is and it isn't. We make our selections on sake, beer, wine, so that way it never fights each other.
Yeah.
And I think with the drinks, once I figure out somebody's likes, dislikes, I can kind of push it where I feel like I can, but then also at the same time, since I'm sending out the food, I can figure out which things to send out,
Yeah.
So it's intentional and intentional because it should just always work.
Which is crazy in itself because, I mean, if you know the person, the experience is crafted uniquely to them.
It's elevated.
Yeah.
Which is intentional.
And I feel like that's a thing that a lot of places don't have.
It's like one or the other.
And I've been coming here for a while. I feel like that's something that you guys have mastered, in a sense, of just knowing the person on the other side of the bar and knowing what they like and crafting the experience specifically to them.
Right. Well, it helps that the company cares about our education. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I mean that in that sense, like product knowledge. You know what I mean? Like we get to taste everything that comes out of the kitchen, so that way when describing to a guest, we don't stutter. We aren't trying to make things up on the fly. We don't have to go check in with somebody else. You know, we know firsthand what these things are like.
Yeah.
So
I feel like that's missing in a world now where everything is just like, hey, I want it now. I know what I want.
It's tough because it's not always the way you want it to be.
Yeah.
You ready, folks? What did y'all think of this last piece?
Guys, this is good. This
Good.
is great.
I'm glad it was the last thing.
But I shouldn't.
Yeah,
I mean, presentation-wise, you don't get all the razzle-dazzle, which is fine. That's great. You know, you don't need all the razzle-dazzle in the drink to get the same great taste, great quality.
I'm glad it worked out well.
Which, you know, is a subject within its own. You know, the ratings is based on creativity and presentation, but it's not so much about the presentation. It's more so about the necessary taste of the drink, and this definitely has it.